the YouTube right now, sorry. In case, because it just seems like the times where I'm least prepared and like really good discussions, really good questions, like those are the best ones. So I'm sure that getting started, there we go. Okay, now we're all set. Good morning. So the two items that I wanted to share with you guys are really it's the DSC Campus Ministries Sunday on February 21st. So I'm going to share my screen. And the newsletter really is going out today. Last week, I think I said we're publishing the newsletter. I was mixed up. Okay, so there's my screen. So the first thing about it, this is the dscumc.org/worship page. And this is where we're going to start adding more things as stuff comes up. I'll start adding like a something like this. I might change the format. I don't know. Right now, all I have is the DSC Campus Ministry Sunday stuff. This, and I'll have videos for each item. This one, the announcement video, I think it ended up being, let me see if I can see, 3 minutes and 35 seconds. This is intended for you guys to use it at the beginning of worship in your announcements time. But I confess, when we were creating the language for the video, I kept going back to apportionment thinking. And so the script in there does say a lot of thanks to your giving, blah, blah, blah is possible and da, da, da. So there's that. There will be more apportionment type videos that will be like a minute, maybe a minute and a half long that we'll be creating and making available from the campus ministry site. But here is one place where I'm going to post things that are intended for worship stuff. Sermon video is going to be posted today. Hannah's just finishing it up. The pastoral prayer is by JC Selangsang. So I'm linking to the direct links to the specific items. And like if you needed the graphic, this one that has music in the background. So there is a little bit of text that you do need to paste into your video description if you're going to publish it on YouTube or I guess Facebook as well. So watch out for that. But if we were to go to move stuff around so I can see, there we go. If we went to the dscumc.org/campus-ministry page, which is now linked here as well. And you go here to download church resources. As I start coming up, or as I start having things, newsletter articles, whatever, I'm going to add them into this folder. So that pastoral prayer from JC that didn't look right on the website, I'm still working on that, but the video itself is here. This is that announcement video. This is the thumbnail for the video. And this is the actual announcement video. I might need to change the file name so it makes more sense. But anyway, so that's where you would find those. It's right here, download church resources. Okay, any questions about that so far? Go ahead, Megan.
The sermon, is that from Hannah Bonner? Okay, just double checking because I'm emailing my pastor right now to be like, are we using this?
Yeah, cool. And it's intended for February 21st, but DSC Campus Ministries Sunday, that was something that I guess was voted on during an annual conference that every church is going to celebrate it. But just like any other special Sunday, you don't have to do it on that specified date. You could do it some other Sunday. So keep that in mind. And so none of the resources say anything about February or anything like that that's going to date it. You could use it whenever. Okay, any other questions about that? Okay. Next thing is about the DSC rate. Well, we do also, I guess there's 3 things. I forgot about the Where Love Lives stuff. I'm going to start out with the Western jurisdiction things because they've got a lot and it's not even all here yet. So there's tons for you to pick from. Every Monday in February, they have a different video that they're calling Monday School. And it's a lot. I think they're pretty interesting so far. It's, bringing up a lot of like the then and now. I think all of them bring up a lot of like background to our beliefs and put it in today's perspective, I guess, how that applies to today. So you could preview them in advance. They're all available, but they're meant to be used on a specific date. And then the then and now, same type of thing. It's a reflection from the past. You can see by the titles what the themes are for each one. Saturday mornings with Mr. Wesley, those are not quite available yet, but they will be soon, just like this one's not available yet. I think Thursday is when everything's going to be posted. These are supposed to be for like little children's messages that you guys could use. So that could be a nice little piece. And then the Wednesday webinars, it shows who's going to be talking in them. Again, this is all around the Where Love Lives theme. And for February, the main message, the theme is committed to our Wesleyan roots. So makes sense. And I guess there's more. The inseparability of personal piety and social holiness. So it makes sense why all of these resources from the Western jurisdiction have a lot of history embedded in them. For Desert Southwest Conference, additional resources that you can use. So these resources, same theme, committed to its Wesleyan roots, but it features our Desert Southwest Conference leaders. All of these videos are already live on YouTube, and this is the prayer focus for the week. They also have some study resources that they're recommending. And then this just links back to the Western jurisdiction stuff, which I need to change because I don't have all the links in there here. But anyway, so all of the Desert Southwest Conference stuff, if you click there, then you'll get to a Google Drive where you can download all the different pieces, including the prayer focuses for every week. So like if you needed to bring this to a meeting with your pastor to say, look, here's everything on a sheet of paper, what's planned. Is there any of this that we want to use? When do we want to use it? How would we use it? That sort of thing. Okay, so any questions about that?
Would it be okay if we use some of these videos in our worship services?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. I think sometimes we're more intentional about saying use this during worship. This one, they didn't say that, but the music that's in there is copyright free. It's an original piece that was written by someone from the Mountain Sky Conference specifically for this campaign. And so any United Methodist Church has permission to use it.
Cool. I was just thinking to get most of our congregation watching it.
Yeah.
Might be better to have it in our worship. And just a thought. I hadn't decided yet.
Yeah. However you decide. All right. Next is the DSC race stuff. So, and there are articles for all of this in today's newsletter, which is going to be released at noon. But I had some questions about so this page here is what's linked from the homepage when you click on that little DSC Race Coalition box. And so now you can see like little graphics for everything that they're planning right now. So the 21-day challenge that everybody or some people already did, they're kind of renewing it by adding additional content to it, like updated content for Black History Month, which is now February. And they're going to be offering a worship experience. That one, I believe it's either going to be it's by Kimberly Scott and Khalif Smith. And that is going to be on February 28th. It'll be in the evening because this is kind of like an opener, an optional, if you want to join us earlier for the worship experience, This is just before the webinar that is going to be with the book authors of I'm Black, I'm Christian, and I'm Methodist. So this February book study is all of February. We're saying that it started yesterday, but that just means, you know, start reading yesterday, reading on your own. And we're asking for people to have the first 3 chapters, or as much as possible, read by Monday, February 8th. So every Monday in February, we'll meet on Zoom. And, you know, any of these, if you click on them, you'll get to the registration information. In fact, I'll go ahead and click on one, because we also have, if you're looking for the links to buy the book, Amazon, Abington Press, Cokesbury. I know it's also available for Kindle, so that would be an immediate, oh, I got my book. Anyway, so there's the information for that. Let me go back. There we go. And then the webinar. So the last week, so I guess I lied. It's not every Monday, because the last week of February, instead of meeting on Monday, it'll be a gathering on February 28th. And that's where it's the webinar with Rudy Rasmussen and others. So let's say for your church, you guys don't want to feel like, well, it started yesterday, I'm not going to start sending this out now. You could actually plan to start it in 2 weeks or whenever, but before, or maybe this is the kickoff. The February 28th kicks off your book study. Start out listening from the author, and then if you're interested, we're going to start a book study off of the book that this Reverend Rudy Rasmussen wrote. So that's another way to approach it. You could start it mid-February and say, you know, our first Zoom gathering will be this webinar where we listen to the author, and then later you have your own church meetings. Different ways to do it. Okay, then this is just the older stuff that what we've already done, but it's still available, because you could, just like with the book study, you could plan to use it down the road. We have the recording of the webinar talking to Dr. Miguel de la Torre. So your people could do a book study on this book, and then later plan on watching the Q&A session, the webinar down the road, you know, whatever you guys want. The Long Shadow, they still have all the resources. That one's the slightly trickier part about it, is that we did record the webinar, so you can watch that as well with Director Francis Cossey. But the viewing of The Long Shadow, so this isn't a book study, this is a watch the movie, and then we can talk, and we can watch the Q&A session with Francis Cossey. This is a list of all sorts of screenings that are coming up for The Long Shadow. So you'd have to look for one that, you know, works for your schedule, whatever you guys want to try to launch it with. And then, where is it? Somewhere here, there's a link to be, oh, it's the actual name of them. If they're still coming up, I guess, yeah. And they have them set up, then it's linked. What's that?
Go up to the top. You're looking at 2020.
Oh yeah, thank you. So at some point they're going to link them, but yeah, they're not linked right now. Host an event. Oh yeah, because you can also host an event. So that's where you contact, and it doesn't cost the church anything to do it. So there's that. Okay, questions about any of the DSC Race Coalition stuff? No. Okay.
How long will you keep it up on the website? Just out of curiosity.
I think we're keeping it up. Like it'll change the way it looks, but it will be accessible here for as long as DSC Race Coalition exists, because they said they want all of their upcoming events to be accessible here and all of their previous event resources to be accessible. I'm going to show you one more thing on the 21-day challenge menu for the DSC race. Now what they're having is, the reason why it's like kind of bare is because they're actually adding a 21-day challenge for every month where we have a like Hispanic Heritage Month, Pacific Islanders, like Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month, Native American Month. So I think it goes like that. This kind of helps to set up the thinking about why we'd want to do it, how do we do it, the little informational webinar about getting it started. And the assignments for the other 21-day months are going to be accessible here. Like if you actually did the 21-day challenge, you'd know what I mean by assignments.
I just finished it Sunday.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So this is where we're going to add the other months, you know, like the February one. I mean, I know they're working on it and they're going to have those additional pieces soon, but the original is available here. And then the pastor's guide is the one, it's the same instructions regardless of what month you're going to use it or what focus. And these are just sample pieces that you could use for your newsletter, to invite people to attend. If you're the facilitator, I never understood the tracking document, but I didn't lead one of these. So if you have questions about the content, the resources, you can talk to Cleve Smith or Javier Olivares. Both their names are linked with their email address. So you can click and send them an email. Any questions about that? Nope. All right. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Is today Groundhogs Day? I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
6 more weeks of winter.
What's that? 7 more weeks?
6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks of winter. Okay. So I've had a long-standing, for my whole life, I've had a competition for attention with that dreaded groundhog because my birthday is on February 2nd, technically the 4th as well. But so yeah, that was always a big joke when I was growing up, like, haha, it's all about Groundhog's Day today, not your birthday. Whatever.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. Thank you, Greg. I'm kidding. So that's all I have for today. Any big questions from you guys? Like something you're working on, struggling with?
I have a quick question, just because we're hopefully going to be talking about this tomorrow at our worship meeting. Is there any talk about having a conference worship for Holy Week or any time around Good Friday, Monday, Thursday, any of those? I just want to be able to be like, yes, we are using this if there's going to be one.
Yes, there is something coming up for Easter. Let me look that up. But I know part of what the bishop had been talking about before with these, upcoming worship opportunities. I think, so there's two, sorry, I'm looking at something else. There's two things that he wanted to address. Number one was there's certain times of the year that he wants to be able to have kind of a pastoral message from the bishop, where it makes sense to hear from the bishop. The other piece of it is there are certain times in the year where he wants to be able to offer pastoral care to our clergy. And so someone from the conference will lead a worship service for a Sunday after a major Sunday. So potentially there could be resources available for Sunday after Easter so that clergy can take that weekend off. Or whoever it is that's leading services there. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I just want to, I know some for the December one, after Christmas one, I don't think I saw anything until we had already planned that Sunday. And so that's why I'm just trying to be better, more on top of it, because our church doesn't look like they're not willing to come back until the pandemic is over at this point. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Easter, the bishop is planning a worship service, but not on Easter. It'll be the Sunday after Easter. So that's, and actually I could tell you who's working on it. It's Stuart Salvatierra from St. Mark's UMC in Tucson. He's going to take the lead in planning that service.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. What else? Oh, and you know what? I think, well, yeah, I already told you about the worship experience from DSC Race. It's coming up at the end of February. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's
I have a
it.
quick question about that.
Yeah.
Is that specifically tied in with Black History Month? Like, does it need to be attended in February, or we rescheduled our concert showcasing Black voices,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering if we might be able to tie it in with that, but that's in March.
Okay. Well, we could record it and see if it works out. I know it's tied into Black History Month. The whole point was supposed to be, it's a Black worship experience. And I've not gone to church in the South or anything like that, so I'm not really familiar with what the big difference is. But you know, Billy was talking about, like, I think she's from Detroit. I can't remember where she was from, but she was saying, like, how amazing it is, and you know, you just have to experience it. And so that's what it's supposed to. That's as much as I know about it, other than it's meant to be for Black History Month, and that it's a lead-in for the webinar.
Okay, so it'll be a live service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, we'll record it and see if it's something that we can make available for churches to use down the road for something else. That was a really good idea. I don't think we had that in mind. Okay. All right. So we could end today early if you guys don't have something to share. You good?
Mhm.
Okay. It's good to see you guys.
Good seeing you.
Hope you guys stay COVID free and are able to do your work without, I don't know, whatever obstacles that may be there right now. But I hope you have yeah, go ahead, David.
Yeah, we've just an update on where we're at. I might have said this last time, I don't know, but we've dialed back to where just my pastor wife and I are in the church doing broadcasting our services. But thank goodness for the technology, because we're able to bring in our liturgists live on a video chat, and so that's interactive and less work, because I don't have to, like, edit together a video or bug them for their videos. And we have so many videos of our pianist playing from last year. I'm still cataloging my little mini library of all the ones that she submitted, all for those many months. I thought, why make her do that over and over again when we could, we won't play the same ones every Sunday, but just reuse selectively some appropriate songs. So yeah, that's my big project, get all of that catalog. So, because then I have to do the copyright for it too. I have to look all that up. So I try to help that, so my pastor wife doesn't have to do all of that stuff. That's my job as the unofficial communicator. So anyway,
Nice.
that's an update of where we're at. And we're just trying to, she's trying to look in the coming weeks. I know we're into a little bit of a dip in terms of hospitalizations and other stats right now. So we might look at carefully bringing back some worship team into the space to do our thing. But then there's also all the scary things about the very infective variants of COVID coming out. So we're going to be careful. So that's our little news update.
Thanks. And go ahead, Megan.
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of COVID and all that fun stuff, I know that back in November, the decision was given back to the local churches as to, like, when we were going to come back to in person and all that. Does anybody know if my ad council is really dragging their feet to do anything. And so do we know if there's going to be any anything from the conference coming out when cases really start to go down to be like, it's time, open back up or anything like that. I know that you all may not be the best ones to ask that question of, but I figure somebody might know.
Yeah, I am in the COVID response team, and our conversations haven't included anything about scheduling okay, come on guys, everybody back. That I will ask about that. Come back.
I'm just thinking based on the age of our congregation, most of them can get vaccinated in this very first group because we have a very, very old congregation. But I know that our interim pastor is like, oh yeah, I don't think we're coming back until your new pastor starts in July. And I'm like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just thought I'd check so then I can show ad council and the pastor like, hey, look, here's the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's nothing like that yet. And I'll check to see if we're planning on doing something like that. One thing that we are talking about is getting together, Arizona has that one document. It's maybe like 20, 30 pages, I know, but it's actually pretty, it's one step on one page, next step on the next page, and so on guidance for scheduling for a vaccine. It's not part of the COVID response team, like requirements for coming back, but we were talking about maybe linking it somewhere on our website so it's accessible for our churches, whether you're in Phoenix or in Nevada. It's taking a little bit of time because although for Arizona, we've got the one scheduling site and instructions regardless of what county you're in, Nevada, it's by county. So it's taking a little bit to get those instructions available.
Well, and Pima County is separate from the state too here in Arizona because they're doing their own thing.
Oh, I thought it was all.
Which is fine, but it's kind of weird because like nobody really knows what's going on. At this point, it's like teachers and over 75.
Over 65 now.
No, Pima County is still over 75 because I don't think they're getting enough vaccines to cover all of the educators and the amount of over 75s that we have. I think that's the deal.
Okay.
I don't know. It's very odd.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you. I appreciate you looking into that. I don't know what else to do. I keep bugging them saying we need to get this ready to go so we can be prepared because I feel like they're going to make the decision and be like, okay, next week we're back. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, and I think this weekend there's going to be a state conversation or whatever where clergy persons can even attend. I know like Bishop Bob signed on for some letter requesting for clergy to also be added as like critical, like first in line to get the shot, because right now it's not like that. So we're supposed to get some kind of update this weekend about it. And from the COVID response team, I'm trying to remember if it's either Nancy or Susan that said that they will be at that meeting and report back what happened. I don't remember which one it was, but hopefully I'll have an update for you guys on Tuesday about that. Actually, we don't meet from the COVID team, but I'm sure she'll email something. If not, I'll email them on Monday to ask for that update so I can get you guys something. All right. If there's nothing else, then I think we're good to go. I hope you guys are keeping busy and within healthy boundaries and are making enough time for your own self-health and wellness and happiness of your family. Gotta love yourself, and then you can love your family, right? Okay, hope you guys have a great rest of your day and week. See you next week. Bye.